Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am still Angus, Dr. Random Mole, and I am not joined by any of the regular valuites. I am joined by... You're starting to become a regular a little bit, Liam.
I'm slowly creeping in and taking over from Aris when he's not looking.
You have to grow your beard a bit though, because otherwise you won't pass for Aris. But aside from Liam, our very special guest, we have a very, very, very special guest, and it is Humma Mouzam from the University of Birmingham. You were Liam helped me get us on your trail, and because you are in fact an expert, not necessarily on the game we'll be playing, but definitely on
definitely not.
Because you're not much of a game player, but maybe this is the game that we'll be playing is going to change that.
It might be the start of my gaming adventure. It might just be.
This is where we get you hooked.
It would be lovely if that would be the case. But you don't really need to have any sort of gaming adventures if you have a PhD thesis research that is quite as adventurous as you have. Your PhD is on the cross-cultural dragon, which maybe, I think, I've done Caribbean archaeology myself for my PhD thesis, which was fun, but the cross-cultural dragon sounds... it sounds quite literally out of this world cool. So what is your PhD thesis about? And you don't have to give the whole Viva rundown, but just the elevator pitch of it. What is the cross-cultural dragon about?
So I'm looking at the dragon motif in Arthurian literature, spanning from the 12th century with its origins with Geoffrey of Monmouth, all the way to Spenser and the Fairy Queen. So I'm looking at it's been normally researched in terms of its Welsh and English origins. So I'm looking at broadening that a little and looking at some of the astronomical allusions that the dragon is kind of linked to in the text. So a bit of dragons, a bit of astronomy, a lot of Arthurian lit. And yeah, the cross-cultural comes into there through looking at different texts that are coming into transmission in England during the time that this dragon motif is kind of circulating around.
Right, very nice, because the dragon is, of course, this cross-cultural, or you can even say transcultural being, right? And anyway, very cool. I mean, the game that we are going to be playing, which is called, Pendragon, has the dragon in there straight up. So maybe let's step into your expertise right now. Why is this game called Pendragon? Who or what is Pendragon? Is it a type of dragon, or what are we looking at?
That's a good question. I was actually writing about that yesterday, I think. So Pendragon literally means head of the dragon. In kind of Welsh origins, it's associated and with a meaning for chief or warlord. But the kind of meanings that I'm looking at for it with Geoffrey of Monmouth is through a kind of Arabic astronomical lens, and through that kind of side of things, it means head of the dragon in astronomy. So my research is kind of conflating the two. So I'm kind of not I'm not moving too much away from the Welsh meaning of the name, but I'm kind of drawing upon the Arabic side of things as well, where it comes from the Arabic term for a dragon between the sun and moon, which is called Caput Draconis in Latin, which translates to head of the dragon. So I'm saying that the name Pendragon kind of draws on that imagery more. Some scholars have actually written on this already. But yeah, I'm kind of aligning myself with that scholarship too. So Pendragon, Caput Draconis, head of the dragon. And we first get introduced to that in Geoffrey of Monmouth's History of the Kings of Britain, which I have somewhere on my bookshelf up there. And he assigns the name to Uther after he sees the dragon comet in the sky, which foretells his future kingship. So he's named by Merlin after that sort of incident in Geoffrey.
Nice. Astronomy, dragons, all the ingredients are there in that name already. Excellent. Excellent. So we're going to start the game. So this may be a little bit of an intro. This is a very, very new game by Inkle Studios. And the reason that it's on my particular radar is not only because I am, a fan of Arthurian cycles and I love the idea of this game. I'm a fan, very much not knowledgeable, so I'm very happy that I have both of you here. But it's because Inkle Studios is also made a couple of games that I really love, including 80 Days, which is this wonderful interactive literature, interactive fiction take on Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. And after that, their big game was Heaven's Vault, in which you play an archaeologist. So that's why Inkle Studios is kind of special among people that love the past. And now they moved on to Arthurian Legend. So that's clearly we are seeing an alignment with other people that love the past. So very cool to play this game right now, especially with you. So what you'll see is that it's not your regular legend, right? So it's interactive fiction. It's a narrative-driven game, and at the same time, it's also a strategy game. Liam, are you a fan of the interactive fiction genre or the narrative-driven games?
I am, and I was just thinking, actually, how when we refer to Heaven's Vault, how my phone basically blew up with notifications from the Value team about how everyone was enjoying the previous game.
Yeah.
But yes, very interested in narrative, principally. I mean, as a scholar mostly of literature who dabbles in material culture, as we discussed last time, actually, Angus.
Yes, we did.
And we got a little bit enthused about souvenirs. But as somebody who's very invested in literature, the stories that we tell one another, and the way in which stories kind of frame historical understandings, I'm very much interested in how narrative and gameplay unfolds and what sort of features they're conveying to us as players.
Yeah. I think what you'll see here. I think you're gonna love it. It's not exaggerating if I say that Inkle Studios is really one of those studios that is really pushing interactive fiction forwards as something that has always been part of games, digital games. Ever more or less the very first couple of digital games on computers were interactive fiction style, the adventure games, right? But they're definitely pushing the boundary there, as we will see, because you need to play a game, not only talk about it. So we're going to be starting a new game right now. So I've already played around, and I love the difficulty slider right here. We're now anecdotal is the difficulty. We could move it up to theatrical or even melodramatic, but I'm gonna say with my last playthrough, anecdotal seems about right for at least for us being able to see a bit of the game. So anecdotal this will be which is a lovely little take, right? Normally it's easy, medium, hard or whatever, and now it's from the anecdotal to the melodramatic, and I'm not entirely sure. I'm kind of scared to find out what the end of that skill will be like. Anyway, continue. So what we get to do in the beginning here, let me. The sound has to be a little bit lower on my end, because otherwise I won't be able to hear you talk. There we go. Probably that's about right. Yeah. So we get to we're at the end of the story of Arthur, basically, as you will soon find out, and we get to play as one of these characters. So we get to play as we might be nice to talk about them for a little bit, right? So Queen Guinevere of Camelot, and these are the starting two characters, if I remember correctly, Sir Lancelot du Lac, and then there are a lot of people that you have to sort of meet in your travels when you play this game. You're supposed to play it multiple times, even if you make it to the ending. I've already unlocked in my previous playthrough. I have unlocked Gawain the Red, and one other character, Branwen of the Wood. So maybe, as our very special guest, you, Humma, get to choose who you'd like to play as, or who you would like us to play as. And
Wonderful.
yeah, exactly. And let us know on what you will base that choice. So talk us through these characters if you can.
Well, I'm surprised Arthur isn't there, first of all. But okay, we'll start with Gwen, lovely Guinevere, Arthur's wife, and part of the love affair with Lancelot, obviously, later on in the narrative. She's the only female, so I might incline with her, actually. But yeah, that's quite good. Let's read the description there. So, the gracious wife of Arthur, unfaithful and yet ever loyal. I like that juxtaposition there. And then we have Lancelot, who I think gets introduced in the narrative through the French tradition, actually. So we hear of Guinevere through Geoffrey of Monmouth, which we believe are the starting kind of points of the narrative, which is in England. And then Lancelot, I think, comes through the French. I think it's through Chrétien de Troyes. So what has he said? That Arthur's chivalrous best friend and traitor to him. Nice. Yeah, that sums up that guy.
Nice. That sums up that guy. Yeah, it's.
But yeah, he has lots of adventures, I think, in the French tradition. I remember an episode with him fighting a dragon, actually.
Oh.
Or that might be Yvonne, but I think he has a dragon around him or something. So that's quite interesting. And then you've got loads of faceless little ghoul things, which look like dementors, but don't look like dementors. So that's kind of cool.
These are. We can't choose these yet, so they're still locked.
So we come across.
And a force for evil. That will be. I think we've lost Liam on our live stream, by the way, or maybe not. Could be. Maybe I have to check if I have to call him back in real quick. There we go. This happens all the time. We're not there we go.
He's just having some connection.
Exactly. Well, we'll continue, and hopefully Liam will be able to join us a little bit later. There we go. So, I mean, I honestly don't know who these characters will be, but maybe you could even have a little guess based on their flavor text. A force for evil.
There's loads of those, aren't there? Well, the obvious villains would be Mordred. We have Agravain as a villain as well, I think. And we have someone with a sword, so it's either a knight, I'm guessing, or it might be an evil woman like Morgan Le Fay or something. So that might be. I mean, cool.
This could be Morgan Le Fay.
It could
maybe,
be.
Right?
It could be. I mean, yeah, if that swerve at the end is a long lock, it could be.
All right, could be. Yeah, exactly. Because long hair and beguiling,
or a gown or something.
Or a gown, yeah. And then a powerful sorceress. Yeah, well, could be a lot of different things. We have a loyal brother. That would be who could be.
A loyal brother. If it's to Arthur, it could be Sir Kay.
Okay.
If it's a loyal brother to one of the knights, it could be maybe Gawain and maybe his brothers. So we'll have to see on that. But there's Gawain.
Gawain we've already got, right? So a hot-headed knight of Orkney, reckless but loyal enough.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's a good summary as well. He's kind of his kind of famous narrative is Gawain and the Green Knight. It's a really good read as well, where he kind of goes on a quest of his own and follows this mysterious Green Knight and learns a lot about morals and things like that, which a hot-headed dude like him should know. So yeah, he's really good. I believe he's the nephew of Arthur in the narrative.
Oh, nice. All right, and we've got a prophet and maniac.
That has to be Merlin, hasn't it?
That has to be Merlin. Who is definitely is he also a maniac?
Well, yeah, it can be argued that, he is. I mean, he begins as a prophet in Geoffrey of Monmouth's first text, so the history of the kings of Britain. And then in his final narrative, it's actually entirely centered on Merlin. It's called the Vita Merlini. And in there, he's kind of gone rogue, shall we say? He's gone a bit mad and lives in the woods, and no one really believes him. So I think Maniac could fit very nicely there.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then we have a broken man. That would be could be
sounds-
anybody almost, right? Within
Could
those
be
sites.
anyone. Could be Arthur himself after he learns about good old Gwen.
and then Brenwan of the Wood. This is a character.
I haven't heard of this one.
No.
So this is interesting.
Very interesting. I mean, this is a game, and I think it's as any a legend, right? There's always stuff that you can add to it, because we were just talking about Lancelot, who was more or less an addition, right? So this could be, addition by the game developers. I honestly am not entirely sure where she's coming from.
Yeah, I'd like to search that one up.
Yeah,
that looks good.
So you were partial to going with the Queen Gwen.
Let's go with the traitor queen.
The traitor queen. All right. So we're gonna choose her, and let's see where we will end up with her. So we're at a certain chapel, and lightning flashes through high, narrow openings. For a moment, it illuminates the face of the disgraced Queen Guinevere, who kneels in silent prayer. Then a moment later,
the atmosphere.
She's on her feet. Yes, exactly. It's as though her name has been called from across the length of Britain.
It's a long call.
That's absolutely. So feels as if she's being called by Arthur. So as you can see, Humma, it's as I already said in our pre-stream briefing, it's a little bit like chess. So you move quite literally across the board, trying to capture a bit of territory, and you'll encounter opponents or sometimes also friendlies on this board. So right now, I'm just moving through to it, and as I'm moving through the space, the narrative unfolds. So Baron Chapel has sheltered Guinevere since her escape from Camelot, but she cannot stay. Where has she escaped from? Why has she escaped from Camelot? Would we know? We're looking at sort of the last days of.
Yeah, I'm guessing the affair must have been found out. If this is going on, so in Geoffrey's narrative, Lancelot doesn't exist. So, I'm guessing if we're basing it on Thomas Mallory's La Morte d'Arthur, which is probably one of the most well-known versions of the legend as well. I'm guessing she's probably been found out. She must have been.
She must have been. Exactly. Oh, look at that. Who are you? What are you doing? You tell me. So they all believe it's too late. If you must go, Sister Guinevere, then may God go with you. So she's probably somebody from the chapel. So, and as this narrative unfolds, as you will see, we get to choose certain abilities for our characters. So our character will be able to do certain things. For example, push forward, which means that we will can literally charge further in when we encounter enemies, or we can fall back and we can more easily retreat. So Guinevere, what sort of character would that be? A push forward kind of character, or a fall back kind of character in your opinion?
She seems quite proactive, so shall we go with push forward?
Yeah, good choice. I feel good choice. Yeah, absolutely. So Liam is still struggling, I think, a little bit with the internet connection, but hopefully he'll be with us later. But so far so good without Liam as well. So we're just moving onwards, basically. I will not leave Arthur to die alone. Interesting. So this is one of those. Let me, in fact, move our faces out of the way a little bit, so we can see. Wait a moment. There we go. This is not something that you're able to see, Humma, but I'm rearranging something on our end when it comes to the streaming, so people will be able to see everything that's happening on the screen. So. There's this choice for Guinevere now, or us as players. Do not love him or still love him. So clearly
What do
something
you
has
think,
happened. I don't. It's so the whole thing that we're sort of not discussing because it's kind of awkward, but at the same time, it is really what this is also about, right? Is the fact that she has been unfaithful to Arthur. Is that the correct thing to say, or am I
Yes, no, yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With
believe it that.
exactly with Lancelot, and so the question would be, of course, this is drama of the relational kind, right? Not of the legendary kind.
It is. This is universal. People understand this. They could.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is so, and we understand as well as players right now, or especially people that have maybe read some of the Arthurian cycles, is that it could wholly be possible that Guinevere still loved Arthur, and still, also loved Lancelot, or maybe she stopped loving Arthur for whatever reason, right? So this is really something that you can fill in this bit of the narrative yourself as a player. So I'm gonna say. I would say I do not love him anymore. What do you think that will be? I think that,
Go for it, Angus. Be sure with the choice.
All right. I don't love him anymore. But she never did. Oh well.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's I'm not anymore. I said, but okay, game. Okay, sure.
So I kind of see how it works. So whatever choice you pick, the narrative and the dialogue kind of flows with that.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah.
Hello, Liam.
Hey, it's Liam. Hey, and JA is here as well. So we are being joined by one of our loyal viewers, JA, together with a party of 5. Welcome, people.
To meet you.
We are exactly. Let me introduce Humma to you. Humma is an absolute expert on not necessarily on the game, but on the histories of the game, the legends underlying the game that we're playing right now. Is Liam back with us?
Can you hear me, Angus?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think
Fabulous.
Wonderful. This always happens.
Just had a slight connection issue on our end, but it should be resolved now. So
it seems all right for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So people that have just started, you're kind of lucky because we're getting to the good bit. I mean, we already chose Guinevere. We already decided that we don't love Arthur anymore. Well, never loved him, in fact.
Never at all, apparently.
Yeah. And now I think we get to go on our journey. So the end destination is probably somewhere up here in the north, because we're gonna go to the last battle, which, I mean, canonically speaking, the last battle. That's sort of what's happening right now. So Arthur has taken his armies and is marching against Mordred, which is, if I'm correct, his son?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, in Le Mort d'Arthur, Mallory's version, he's kind of, his bastard son, so through an incestuous relationship with his sister. Yeah, it gets weird there. But in other versions, he's his nephew. So either way, it's his kin. Who kind of betrays him.
Exactly.
It just depends on how far down the tradition you go.
Also drama, right? Of the universal
drama
kind.
To the max.
To the max. So you can also, aside from choosing narrative, you can also choose which places to visit. In this case, I have to just go to the fort of the Silver Champion, and I mean, some of these places may be real place names. Some of you may recognize some of them, like
maybe, I'm not
Burn
sure,
Chapel.
but they look pretty.
The map looks. I mean, I often
like
just. It looks absolutely lovely. The game art, the game style is. I think it's a little bit like lead stained windows, but then with it's just wonderful. The fort.
It's almost a typical idea of what you expect England to be in a way, isn't it? It's almost rolling hills and pastures.
Yeah.
Yes, it is very pastoral. That's for sure. So here we are on our way. As you can see, we're moving across this landscape from point to point, over the rolling hills.
I love how she disappears behind one hill and appears again behind the other.
They've really thought it through.
As you would, right? Looking from this perspective, at least. So, and then if you get at a location, there's often a little map with this little battle or other side of encounter. So Bairn Chapel is protected on one side by a deep treacherous bog. No army could march across it without sinking. So here we are at this ford. So we have to pick out a path with care. So there used to be a path, sure. The Library of the Sacred Kalan. If there's any term that you recognize, let me know, because of course
Not yet, but that sounds fascinating. If that was a real place, I'd go.
The
yes,
Secret Library of Kalan.
exactly. So as you can see, I can sort of choose what squares to move to, and I mean, there's also things like tough reeds, which we cannot move to, I guess. So I'm just gonna move through the map.
How realistic. That's so good. Tough reads.
Tough reads. The
Love
rain
that.
shows no sign of stopping. That's also kind of realistic, I fear.
Yeah, terribly true of England.
So what's happening if I'm on high ground, like right over there, I get to move in all sorts of directions. If I would be on low ground, I can only move either diagonally or what do you call that? Basically straight, depending on my stance. So if I change the stance, then I'm more or less changing the directions I can go to. But so far I'm on the high ground, which I think is good, right? If you're in a situation like this, I'm just gonna move right through it. Easy does it, exactly.
Do we know what that little Triskelion is in the next space there?
Yes, for sure. So
Is that a game mechanic?
that's a game mechanic. So these little squares are will give you resolve, and resolve is the thing that you will need for all sorts of special things that you can do as a character. For example, we just decided that Guinevere is one of these characters that likes to be a bit proactive, and I now have this special ability that I can push forward, right? If I'm charging, so I'm not charging anything right now because I'm just moving through some territory. And here you can see I should be getting one more resolve when I move to this. Yes, there we go. So now she has a suggestion like, hey, listen up. If you want to, we can just charge ahead, right? So push forward. There's no real reason for me to do that right now, but why not do it, right? Because if we don't do it, we can sort of, if we don't do it, we can only move over here. If we do it, we can move all the way over there, which is neat, right? In fact, it will allow us to go all the way to the exit. This little shimmering square is always the exit of that. At the same time, I was kind of hoping, because this is the fort of the Silver Champion, that we would meet some sort of Silver Champion. But okay. You know what? Maybe let's just
Maybe
charge
it's you.
Maybe it's true.
Maybe you are the Silver Champion.
It is true. The path opens up again here, so there we go. So I will. This game art is amazing. Absolutely, Omar. Absolutely, it's absolutely. We're joined in chat by Omar, one of the other wonderful people at Value, and absolutely right. The game art is beautiful, and I think it's also one of these things that often, when the graphics are great and immersive and 3D, etc., that's great. But game art like this can also really be very good at telling the story, right?
Mm.
Yeah, definitely. I'm thinking about settings and looking at that sort of thing. And obviously there's so many settings in the Arthurian Legend, and it just looks like a medieval landscape. I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
Really
Absolutely. Good. Yeah, and then in the landscape, there's also things like Thunder's Bellow. I don't think we can go there right now, or, well, we probably don't even want to go there, because we said that we wanted to go to the Library of the Sacred Kalan. So let's go there.
Let's.
I really like that there's an interaction between you as player and the characters as well. That they are giving you suggestion implies that you're following their story in a way. So as much as you're making decisions, you're not being placed as the driver almost in that seat.
No, it is very. You're absolutely spot on. It does feel like there's some agency on the part of the characters that I play. So normally when you play a game, you're the one completely in control. But here you see some pushback or suggestions, or and it's gonna be happening even more, especially if we pick up some other characters along the way. You will see some interesting things happen. Longshanks, or horse, begins to whinny and moan. So it's dark. It's kind of scary. This library is I mean, any books that it used to
Spooky
hold
fog.
is not there anymore. So let's get to some high ground. I hopefully feel a bit safer there. The stones are cold. Oh, that
Yeah, it's
doesn't.
quite dark for a library as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I think maybe the librarian has checked out for tonight.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. Let's see. Let me take it a little bit slow and let's. Oh, there's something moving there. A restless
Looks
chuckling.
like a rat.
I don't want to restless chuckling. That's not good. I'm gonna move back a little bit, pick up some more resolve, and hopefully. Oh, it's a rat. Oh, you know this. Yeah, you can already see this. I hope you're not afraid of rats, Humma.
This would be a bad
Well,
time to find
I
out.
am, but yeah, it's okay. At least I'm not playing.
Sure.
Run.
Let's see. Because now, of course, this becomes this opponent we have to try and go for. So, one of the things that I absolutely love is that in this game you get to either finish the level by simply moving all the way to the far end to this glimmering share, or by killing all the enemies in our way. So I know already from my previous encounters with rats, who I will let you know ate all my friends in the game, not in real life. That would be horrible.
That would be.
That they only move diagonally. So I think it would be safe for me to move here. And hopefully, yes, there were always rats in Camelot. Of course, castle.
Food. Can you do?
They would run up and down the curtains at night. They weren't the only rats in Camelot we tried to ignore. Oh, that's... So what other rats would have been there, right? So now I have to be a little bit careful. I mean, it's only going to move diagonally, right? So I can go here. There we go. I can't attack it right now because I'm also... my stance is diagonal. So there we go. Rats. So I do not like... Well, you're not the only one, Gwyn.
We're in the same boat as you, Guinevere.
Yes, yes. All right, that's the biggest rat I've ever seen. Yeah, that's indeed. There we go. Fortunately, the rat is even more scared of us than we are of it. It's a very cheeky dig by Guinevere. Absolutely, very very cheeky. Yeah, Guinevere is she's definitely opinionated on the things that went on in her previous castle where she resided. What I really like is that there's so many different ways that combat can be resolved. You don't only have to basically defeat everyone. It's just
that's quite interesting.
It's rather than having to, because I think there is a sort of, I mean, this is discussed quite a lot in all sorts of video game literature, isn't it? This is idea that combat has become a central feature.
Yeah.
But actually, the idea that you don't have to engage in combat, that things can be resolved through alternate means, can actually be more narratively fulfilling.
Exactly, they can be more narratively fulfilling. That said, what I've read of the Arthurian cycles, combat is kind of a thing there, right? It's
heavily a thing. Yeah, I mean, they can't resolve anything without throwing a punch or a spear or a sword or something. Like I was just looking at some random episode today, and I think it was Sir Barlin, and he just went and just chopped off a lady's head, and I was like, oh, that's nice. I'm just used to it now. It just goes right over.
Yeah.
But yeah, battle is really good because well, not really good, sorry, it's really predominant within the narratives because Geoffrey's history is very political and kind of reflects the kind of politics of the time. And the century before it with the Battle of Hastings in 1066. So I think as we move on as well with the Arthurian narrative, the Crusades take a huge role within them too. So battle and fighting and enemy contest and all that sort of stuff is just right in there.
Yeah. That is we don't have any we have no food. Oh, poor
Oh, we're
Guinevere.
starving.
Oh, that's not well, hopefully we'll find some food in the that's rarely in the in the narratives, right? That knights are starving. Happens
Yeah,
rarely.
no, that's quite interesting though. I didn't realize that she had like lifeline, like 5 little lifeline.
Five
things.
little
Maybe
five.
that's just my game ignorance.
No, I mean it's a good point though, because there's all sorts of ways that you can lose these hearts, and hearts are always, in a game, when you see a heart, it is definitely going to be about life. Sometimes about love, but most of the time about life. Most of the time, and there's so many ways that you can lose hearts here. For example, by not having any food, or by being defeated in combat. All sorts of different things. So we've now hit this village, which is kind of not so. I mean, Ruth's Hamlet is
derelict.
quite derelict, exactly, and you can even see why it's derelict. There's graves there, and it's just not a very cheery place. So wolves basically are gonna try and hunt for us, try to defeat us. So I think let's keep the high ground, because that gives us lots of maneuverability. And there's no smells of cooking. Exactly. Maybe the wolf hasn't seen us just yet. The smell is musty and full-blooded. Yeah, no kidding. Right. Since the wolf is just there, I'm gonna. What's that, by the way? Oops. This can work out. There we go. This works. I can just charge straight ahead, and then I think I can or not. Can I do this? But the wolf's gonna get me though. I think that's what's gonna happen. Oh no, because it's in diagonals.
By the wolf, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's a different fairy tale. But no, I'm good. I still have to get my head around this game, because we're safe, because the wolf is in diagonal stance, so it can only move or also attack diagonally. So this is good. This is good for us, for now at least. It's not gonna do anything to us.
Is that for all animals then in the game? Do they only move diagonally?
No. The wolf can change stances just like us, so they can change directions. Rats are the only ones that sort of do that. So Guinevere has a suggestion. So one of the things that is, I can sort of move in my own territory. I can move much farther, so I could move. I could charge across the whole territory. If the territory is blue, so the opponent's color, I can't really get that far. Of course, I do have this push forwards thing, which in theory should help me out here. And, there we go. Allow us to make it over there. Wolf still can't attack. And there we go. Wolf takes some space over there. But now I can just nicely... I think I should make it on time. There we go. Just run away, basically. There's no need for me to battle a wolf, right?
Look at that. No violence whatsoever.
No, exactly. Yeah, I'm sure you do, but exactly. Too bad. No dinner for you. No dinner for me. No dinner for you. Time to ride on. So that's
In my head, it's just this image of Angus bearing this great spear with a wolf, like, ready to chase him, and he goes, nope, and just disappears out of the door into the distance.
Exactly. I mean, why would you do that to that wolf? That wolf can find another meal and can live another day. No need to fight. No, I think that's just a wonderful, wonderful little mechanic. So there's all sorts of... there's lots of abandoned places popping up, as you can see. And let's see, we can go to I guess it's the Glanleven. Is that correct?
It must be. It sounds Welsh.
Yeah, exactly.
It's certainly spelt in a Welsh way, so I would say. Yeah.
So probably the Glanleven
Long
Barrows. I think we could also go to the Flood of the Birds and Castle Bourlois. Probably if we move this way, we'll end up at Castle Bourlois anyway. But if you're interested in visiting some Long Barrows, that may take us sort of this route in the end. But we can't know that yet. So what do you want to do? Want to move north, or want to sort of see what those long barrows are about?
Ian, would you like to pick?
I personally love a good barrow.
There we go. So
It's just as well in this time period as well. Like you still have the remnants of a lot of what is Anglo-Saxon culture being buried in barrows. Like this is still a common practice in the game is set in, I think I looked it up as 672, something around then.
Wow.
So you still have a lot of those barrows dotting the countryside, and strangely enough, a lot of them are still kind of buried with bits and bobs of Roman culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that said, this is not a barrow; it's a henge, right? But
yes, it's not. But
let's not be sticklers. So I think you can also. This is sort of more like an icon of a place, rather. So sometimes these place names will actually be called henge. I've seen one in my last playthrough that's called something. I think it was even something like Lost Dragon Henge or something like that. So that would have been very
Great.
Yeah. So maybe we'll encounter some dragons along the way. But let's go to Glenlevin Long Barrows. If you have any questions, by the way, sorry, go ahead, Lee.
That's slightly disconcerting. No one will follow me if I go this way. That feels a little bit foreshadowing. Yeah.
That does seem a little bit. Maybe that's not the way you should be going then. Okay. Covers a ring of ancient stones. There we go. It was once a burial ground for a people now forgotten. That's maybe those Romans you were talking about earlier. Although probably they wouldn't entirely have been forgotten in 672.
No, I wouldn't imagine. So.
But that's the place that we're going to, Camlan. That is where the final battle. Okay, there you go. That is canonical Camlan then.
Yes, okay. That is the final battle place. Right. I think sometimes it's called the Battle of Salisbury, but Camlan is the main kind of name for it.
Okay, good. So, but before we get there, we first have to make sure that we're able to go there. So let's try and not get eaten by rats.
I suppose as well, there's Humma, you will know this better than I will, really, that the Arthurian legends kind of sit in this weird space between fact and fiction. And in that respect, it's perhaps not necessarily surprising that there is this sort of mythical people almost that are now long forgotten. That is the general feel of an Arthurian legend, is that it surpasses the confines of normal history.
Yeah.
It's so interesting because when we kind of begin with the legend with Geoffrey, he actually narrates the story as historical. His is a historical chronicle. So he fully believes in the reality of a King Arthur. And then as we progress further and further down the tradition with the chivalric romance kind of motifs coming in, you do get that sense of kind of the folklore, the mythical, they're not quite real anymore. And I think that's one of the things I love so much about it as well. It's so ambiguous, it's so grey, and it's not really black and white, and it's really adaptable as well. That's one of the things that kind of drew me towards today as well. It's such an adaptable story and legend in terms of the kind of narratives that have come out of it. Each one's slightly different than the one before, and then the kind of mediums that it can be narrated in as well. I mean, games, I wouldn't have thought it could have been told this way. So it's really, really cool, I guess.
And the idea of the medieval world, particularly like Western medieval ideas of what constitutes truth and what constitutes fiction, are much less clearly defined than we think of them today. Especially in this period, it's much before Geoffrey of Monmouth, but for a long time, especially in sort of Carolingian world, this idea of there being a distinction necessarily between what is holy and saintly writing and what is conventional history is not clear cut, and that kind of continues to a certain extent even into the 11th century. You get that change in tradition more into the High Middle Ages, of course, where you have more clearly defined, this is a genre, this is how we go about this. But
Mhm.
certainly the earlier you go, the idea of truth being singular is not really a big thing in the Middle Ages.
No, nice. And I think that is also something that games allow you to explore as well, right? Truth, and especially this game is very good at that, because truth not being singular. I mean, we're playing now with Guinevere, but if we would have taken a different starting character, we would have a different perspective on this whole story towards Camlin. So, and I also really like the point that you made just now, Humma, is that it is so adaptable, and it's wonderful that it can. I think it's just I'm teaching a course right now at Leiden University, which is about transmedia storytelling. So it's about, and particularly to focus towards how games interface with that, and the idea of just telling stories across media of the same sort of with the same core in it is, I think, a fascinating thing in itself. And then I think the Arthurian cycle is one of these, but more or less like a very prototypical transmedia story, right? From probably legends that were or narratives that were circulating by word of mouth, to being written down, to becoming so much different food for movies, good and bad, and all sorts of different things.
Definitely. I mean, even my first encounter with the legend, I mean, a lot of children kind of, when I grew up, had watched The Sword and the Stone, but that wasn't I'd watched it, but it kind of just went over my head. I was just like, oh, okay, another movie. But I kind of really first encountered it with the BBC TV series Merlin. I don't know if any of you have seen that.
Yeah.
But I kind of watched it. So I was, I think, around 12.
You mean the BBC series Merlin?
Yes, the BBC One series Merlin.
Yeah.
So that was my first real encounter with the legend, and I kind of started it kind of preteen, and I went all the way throughout my teenage years. So I had a very distinct understanding of the legend through that. And then the first time I actually encountered it in literature was during the first year of university, during my undergrad. And it was Thomas Mallory's Le Morte d'Arthur.
Nice.
And I was like, what on earth is this? It's completely different to the story that I know. This guy has got it completely wrong. And my teacher was just staring at me like, how could you say that about canonical text? What are you saying? And I think what started off as a naive sort of understanding of the legend, that's kind of one of the things I love most about it now, the fact that everyone's kind of heard a different side of the story and come across a different character or a different aspect of the legend. And I think it's so adaptable. I really, really genuinely love that about the legend. And I think that this game really portrays that as well. I mean, even with the dialogue and the narrative, you, depending on what you choose and what you say, like you've just got there on the screen now, you could go on a different path entirely and tell a different story. So I think that's really cool.
We're kind of almost actively rewriting it right now.
Yeah, we are actually. That's a nice way of thinking. That's a really nice way.
Exactly, because this knight that we're just encountering here in Ewan's Landing, he says like, I heard that you were burned at the stake, which is, a kind of a, I mean, that as far as I'm aware, that's not in any of the narratives, but still, it also allows us to really respond to that. Perhaps they did, wait.
I do love the quip, though. Do I look like I've been burned?
I think that's got humour. This is really good dialogue. I like it. Yeah, I think she was being threatened to be burned, I think.
Oh, okay.
And then Arthur couldn't go through with it, I think, or something like that. Or Lancelot rescues her or something. One of the narratives has.
Oh, has that in it?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. So, this game reminds me of a choose-your-own-adventure novel, which is really cool. Yeah, it's in that sense very much like a choose-your-own-adventure novel, but with strategy attached to it. So choose your own adventure is, you page through it and then there's little strategy to it, but this also has some strategy to it. So, no one has beaten me yet. This person said that I was looking a little bit, worse for wear. No one has twice beaten Steel, I think he said. No one has beaten me yet, or I've tried to have a heart of steel. I really like one of the things I also like about live streaming narrative-driven games together with other people is that it's not only me making the decisions. I'm clicking, but what do we think Guinevere is turning out to be for sort of character? With a heart of steel, or somebody who simply hasn't been beaten yet? Right? This is there's a slight difference here.
There is. It's true she hasn't been beaten yet.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
If it's true, well, that's what we'll go for,
We'll
right?
go with that.
Yeah.
Heart of Steel sounds nice, but I don't think she's met a true opponent yet. Sorry.
Guinevere the Fireproof, or behind you if you don't mind. You seem to be invincible. Sir Avon. Is this a canonical character, Sir Avon? Or
I don't know. I haven't heard of a Sir Avon.
No, it's
so cool name.
It's definitely a cool name, but this game throws all sorts of new characters at you as well, right? So we have a new follower now, so our group is in fact expanded.
We're a band of 2.
Yes, exactly. With Sir Avon following close behind.
I like the idea as well that this dialogue is it is sometimes literal and sometimes it's really not. Like we've had the I thought you were burnt at the stake. Sounds like a literal proposition, but then instead when we say, do I look like I've been burnt, we get back, yeah, you would seem to have been burned and made stronger like a blade twice hit. And that doesn't necessarily, that's shifted then from a literal conversation into a figurative one. Yeah. We're talking about her life story. She has encountered problems which have made her stronger for who she is, and they may be part of the legend or they may be part of what we're creating now. Like that's the kind of ambiguity of that kind of dialogue is really impressive. It's difficult to construct something like that.
Yeah, for sure. And if you're interested in how that is done mechanically, they're the developers behind this game, Inkle Studios, they have a couple of talks out via, I think, GDC or I think it's on their YouTube page as well, where they talk about the engine that is underlying this game. So that's, Humma, if a game is made, then they are made in game engines, which is sort of the thing that puts everything together so the game will, in the end run for us as players. And they've put a lot of work in, particularly what you're saying right now, sort of this narrative that will always be slightly changing and will be different with every single playthrough, but is also, has this capacity to change tack, for example, from literal to figurative. So I think it's really great, because it's very likely that even if we would try to play this 100 more times, we wouldn't have this exact same conversation again. So the Forest of I wouldn't even Ivionit. I wouldn't be able to pronounce that.
Sounds like a better guess than what I would have said.
Or the Flood of the Birds, or Castle Bourlois. Or we can't go to these places, but I don't really want to go to Perilous Dell or to Kellin's End. That sounds kind of scary.
Sounds perilous, yeah. I've heard of Castle Bourlois. I'm going to search that up.
All right, yeah, absolutely.
So should we head there?
So, any other place that we want to visit first? Maybe the forest is nice.
Let's go for the forest.
Or the Flood of the Birds. What would that? You know what? Let's go to, because I want us to end up at Castle Bourlois at some point. So let's go to the Flood of the Birds, and because maybe if we go to the forest, then we'll. We're near to Saint Sepulchre's Convent.
I'm talking rubbish. I don't think it exists. It sounds cool.
Isn't it great that you're like, even even if you in the country that you live in, and being an expert, generally speaking on this sort of stuff, you're like, that sounds like it could be real, and that's one of the things.
Yeah, definitely. So do you know what? They're convincing. I'll give them that.
The Flood of the Birds. The sun disappears behind the western horizon. The days out here are short, the roads long. That's a lovely figure of speech as well. The fish twists its body and bites the bird. Oh dear, that's horrible. Poor bird.
Poor bird.
Yeah. The second night. So what I get to do now, since I'm with the two of us, I get to choose who goes first. So I'm going to still say that Guinevere is going to be leading the battle. Maybe it's not even a battle, but leading in this map. And then later in, I can also call in Sir Avon. Never liked marshes, especially in the dark. I'm beginning to think this was not the best decision for me to go here, but you know. My father. Who's Guinevere's father?
Good question.
Is this something that is
I don't mean to alarm you, Angus, but something moved in the background there.
Oh, did it?
No.
Oh, I'm not even paying attention. What? You know what? This is a good moment to call in my trusty squire. There we go. Sir Avon, come on. Let's...
I need your assistance. We're all scared out here.
Yes. All right. So, let's move. What's that? Oh!
Oh dear.
Will charge and ram characters backwards, but they can't attack without a run-up. Okay, that's good, I guess. So
I was wondering when we'd encounter boars. They're quite popular.
They are quite popular.
Period.
So I kind of wanna check the boar out. So the boar has a lot of special abilities, can shove people back. Only linear, so that's good to know. So this one is that one can only move linearly. Can smash down bushes. Ooh, holds its life above all else. It's cautious, so okay, that's good, I guess. Has no ordinary attack. Okay. Maybe not so dangerous anyway.
I'm just reminded of Robert Baratheon in Don't mess with the boar, mate.
Yes, you're right. But, you know, how else am I going to circumvent it? Because otherwise, next turn it's going to flip me, I think. So it's going to, you know...
True.
So I'm just going to have to...
It's always so strange to think of boars roaming the wilderness, considering that they just don't exist in modern England.
Wait, is that true? Boars don't exist in modern England anymore?
No, they don't. They basically went...
We're hunted to extinction.
And to be honest, it's one of those strange things where I have American colleagues who will say things to me like, "So, what dangerous beasts do you have to worry about in England?" And I'm sat there going, "We killed all of them."
Oh God!
Badgers.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I mean, now it makes sense that I've never even seen boar tracks or boar. I mean,
yeah, we just don't exist anymore.
No. Oh well, they do definitely in the Netherlands still, not in many great numbers, but they're there. And you want to stay away from them for sure. But now you're telling me like the only slightly wild pigs that I've seen are the ones wandering around in the New Forest. They're not really wild at all. They like to come up for cuddles. But
interesting as well how it's regular, real animals as well. Like we haven't encountered any supernatural ones.
That's true. I wonder what that is about. If there are any supernatural enemies in here, because I don't think I've encountered them in my previous playthrough either.
Maybe if we'd gone to the forest, that's always usually the place where
that's
supernatural creatures.
That's very true. So I'm kind of. What should I do here with this little boar up here? Because, you know, I don't necessarily have to hunt you, but I also really don't want to get. Oops, no, that's not the right thing to do. There we go. Moving in my boots now. Oh dear.
Oh.
All right. Oh, this is okay. This is okay. He's giving me a bit of space to move in. There you go. No, I don't have to fight him. I think this should be. Oh, what's that then?
Oh. That's Robert Baratheon.
Very good, very good. By the way, in the chat, if you have any questions for experts right now, just let us know. Or if you have any questions about how this game works, let us know as well. So, okay, Sir Bourlois ring. Oh, so that's nice. This gives me a new ability. I can vault diagonally. I can jump over a blocked square. Interesting. Oh, don't, Piggy, stay away. I don't.
Fruff went the boar.
Fruff, exactly. I don't think I've ever heard a boar say fruff, but could be. I listen up. I don't want to hunt you to extinction if I don't have to, because I think I could right now. I think I could just sort of do that. But poor you. Shall we just call it sort of even Steven and let me just go?
Oh, you're so merciful, Angus.
Yeah, I kind of. Okay, I have a very definitely a weak spot for pigs because and boar are just wild pigs basically, or pigs are just domesticated boar, whatever you want to call it. I used to have a pet pig when I was a teenager, so I love pigs. I love them. Wasn't a boar, definitely not a boar, but it was one of those pot-bellied pigs, right? One of those the black variants. So yeah, I don't want to hurt them if I don't have to. That said, if I now cross over there, pig, what are you going to be doing to me? Are you going to be... Let's see, what could I do with the blessing then? Oh, I could move right over there. That's smart. I like this this ability that we picked, Humma. That it gives us a lot of maneuverability right there.
Gwen.
Oh, and there's the exit.
There you go.
Lovely.
And the boar is also like, yeah, let's call it a day.
Sir Avon's just stuck there.
Sir Avon is just like, yeah, it's okay. So only one of our characters has to make it to this part of the board. So that's okay. With me, exactly. I'm with. Oh, that's so nice, isn't it? It feels a lot better now. There's this
coverage.
Now that we're not alone.
Exactly. So Saint Zephyr's convent. I think she's been hinting a couple of times that that's maybe where we would find Lancelot.
Oh.
So
Let's have a look.
Yeah, exactly. The castle where Borlo's lady lived. So I think we could go straight there, or do you want to do a stopover at Castle Borlois?
Should we have a look at Castle Borlois? We've
been
building up to it.
We have been building up to it. This could be any encounter could be the end of our journey, right? Just pointing it out there. But so an abandoned place now could be dangerous. So how far from Camden are we? That's a good question. Yeah, we'll be there in time. that's the answer I always give to.
Don't want to miss that last battle. We'll be there.
Exactly. We've come too far to fail. Oh, Sir Avon.
Sir Avon's quite the deep philosopher, isn't he?
He is.
Out with these unexpected lines.
He is, absolutely. That comes from some wisdom. I mean, you wouldn't expect it, a philosopher with a great axe.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought?
Jut up from the heather-covered slopes in disarray. Guinevere and Sir Avon pick their way between broken beams and fallen pillars. It is as though a once-proud castle has been blown over in a storm, or swept aside by the stroke of a dragon's wing.
Oh, we've got
dragons! we have a...
So atmospheric, I love it.
Very good indeed. So I'm gonna, Guinevere is... she's ever getting better at oh dear. Are you another wolf, or maybe you're just?
It looks like it, doesn't it?
It does look like it. And wolves can move all sorts of different ways, so I think we want to move here. Yeah, I think so. Oh, there's some brambles there. The wild is reclaiming this place. So, yeah, that's a good point, by the way. Camelot in this game has already fallen. That's correct, right?
Interesting.
Or not?
Yeah, sort of. So, if they are fighting in the last battle of Camland, then I suppose Guinevere and Lancelot's affair is big news to everyone now. That gossip has been unleashed, and yeah, Mordred I think has taken over the Arthurian kingdom. So Arthur, most likely is going there to defend and fight. But I think it is the end.
It is the end, yeah, exactly. So that's also the end for Camelot then, which is...
Yeah, the Arthurian kingdom as Arthur knew it.
Exactly. The dream of that. Ooh, I'm not safe here. Ooh. So the game helps out in the easier difficulty settings a little bit with that. So, since I'm not safe, let's call it Sir Avon again. Sir Avon. So as you can see, calling in your other fellows will require a bit of resolve, but I think it's worth it. Thanks. Very perceptive. How did it crumble so fast? That is a good question. Oh, all right. There we go. You made a mistake there, Wolfie. So I'm sure there's more wolves, but I don't think you'll be able to get me just yet. So I'm sorry, Wolf. It's either you or me right now. So it's gonna be you.
You killed it.
Yeah. So the way this game works, there's really no other sort of other mechanic than simply moving onto the square of your opponent. So that in that sense, it's just like chess, right? You just take.
I was going to say it's just like chess.
Yeah, exactly. So so if I move right there, I think that wouldn't work for me. So let's capture one of the resolve points. Oh, there's Sir Avon. All right, cutting your way, which can be cut through in either linear. Okay, that's good to know. Wasn't aware of that just yet. I think let's just get you here, so you can cut. Okay, not yet, I guess. These wolves. They're just there in the shadows waiting for me. So
the whole pack's there.
The whole pack's there, yes, for sure. So I think I'm gonna just move through it like that. Ooh, not anymore. That's good though, because I think... Or not. Oh no, I can't charge. There's nowhere further you could run to. If I move there, that wouldn't work.
Could we maybe lure them in by moving Guinevere back?
Yeah, we could definitely move her back for sure. Because I think that if I stay here, they'll be able to just move in and eat me alive. So I'll move back a little bit. But you'll probably see that these wolves aren't. So there we go. That's about right. Oh, that's not good because I can't attack at the same time. So you have to move in here, and then I'll be able to get you. So how am I able to cut down these bushes? How does that work? Oh wait, I have to change my stance for that, definitely. So let's do that first. So one of the things that's going to happen when I'm taking too long with the battle, I'm going to lose morale, as you can see right there. So that's the problem. That's a problem because if I don't have any morale left, my heroes are just going to be running away. That's gonna hurt him. That's not good. I don't want that at all. So I still haven't figured out how to cut down these bushes. So that's I should be able to, but this feels like a bad idea. Exactly. But what to do? Maybe vault diagonally. Maybe that's a solution there. Probably not either. This is getting a bit dicey.
Ooh.
Could Sir Avon cut the bush in front of him and then charge? Is that
yeah, I'm trying to, but that seems to be.
I think you might be okay if you can attack diagonally.
Yes, but we can't.
Can you not? Okay, never mind.
No.
Forget.
No, there's a special ability that lets us attack diagonally. So so that's. I mean, this is not too bad. So right now, as you see, I can't really move onto that square. So I have to change stances again. But at least there's some headway has been made. Baiting it to run it through. All right. So Sir Avon wants to sacrifice himself for a tactical advantage. So this is an interesting thing that you can let characters do. So this is gonna probably hurt him. I mean, he has some lives left. So if we win, then we're okay again. So maybe worth to try and do this. Let's see if this is gonna work out.
He's
all right.
A philosopher and a chivalric knight.
This is very chivalric, isn't it? Bother isn't one of those lines that you would normally see. Sir Avon. Oh, this is drama. My friends will be so there's something happened right now, and I can have this. So I can either keep this ability, or I can go for shoulder bash. So attack sideways while in diagonal stance. This could be worth it right now. I think maybe that could be. So I'm not in diagonal stance, but I could be. So I think that if I do this right now, Sir Border's castle, yes, or it was. Okay, well that's diagonally, so stupid wolf. It's pretty smart for a wolf, I have to say. Morale is falling, yes, exactly. And injured knights will be abandoned. That I do not want. So attack sideways while in diagonal stance. That's not. I could attack that one. That's not what I want. Oops. Let's instead change stances and just go for it. Oh nope, that's not what we want. Oh, this is
getting dicey.
This is getting very dicey. We're almost out of morale, and we still need to get there. Vault diagonally. That's not gonna work, I think. I shouldn't have changed stances last turn, because now I have to change stances again. Right, let's just try it. We must get away from you. I know. Okay, I guess that... No, this is not okay, because this... this feels like a bad idea indeed. Or shoulder bash, that could... Oh, wait. Oh, wait, I think this could work. And let's see. And no, this couldn't work. Attack sideways while in diagonal stance. This should be alright, right? I should be able to attack and then attack him. No. This is where I haven't figured out the game yet entirely. So...
Can you only shoulder bash your opponent? You can't shoulder bash like the thorn bush or something?
I could. Yeah, I could. Maybe that will help a little bit and give me a bit more maneuverability. But let's just see. There we go. What? Alright. Okay, now I get to... Wait, this is... Alright. The wolf is... There we go. Can I now... You can't escape me. There we go. Okay, wolf. That's... Alright, fine.
Maybe we should aim for just fleeing or getting to the end.
I mean, flee, but then we would...
Sorry, I didn't mean fleeing as in leaving Sir Raven. I mean, if we get to the end, do we get to keep Sir Raven?
Oh yes, for sure. Yeah, no, that's. I was desperately trying to go for the end, and I kind of hopeful that we could still make it on time. Yeah. So I think we could. So let's just see. So far, so good. All right, let's see. Yeah, okay, there we go, wolf. I'm very sorry, but this is just there we go. I think we made it.
Been avenged.
Oh, wow, victory.
That was a very overly careful, tactical wolf.
Yes. You're still with us, Raven. Thanks to you. So this is nice. So there's this little thing that now builds up between our characters. We must save each other. Oh, that's such a nice...
Bond growing.
I will have my revenge, or you killed them. Well, I think you killed them. There's no revenge to be had on wolves. That will really work. To resume their journey north. Alright, wonderful. Phew, as I said, this could have been our last stopover.
That was a close one.
That was a close one. I mean, one of the things that strikes me when reading La Mort d'Arthur, for example, is that sort of tense stuff like this doesn't really happen that much, right? I mean, there's battle, and then it's just, somebody slashes somebody else. It's not really tense in that sense, or am I just missing the good bits?
No, it is resolved quite quickly sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's just his narrative style, and it comes a lot with the Arthurian narratives in general. It's quick over the head and you're done.
Yeah, fair point. That's probably also how it would have gone back then, right? So my main reference point, aside from a lot of movies, Hollywood material, and of course, is what's it called in English? The Sword and the Stone, it's called, right? I guess because in Dutch it's simply called Merlin the Wizard. That's the name of the movie, that Disney movie. So that's sort of my reference, and then also La Mort d'Arthur. What are some other absolute sort of, well, media just in general, but sort of the narratives, the stories to read if you're sort of done with La Mort d'Arthur? What should we read next?
Well, I keep mentioning Geoffrey, so Geoffrey has to be mentioned. Geoffrey is considered the origins of the Arthurian legend.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of is the first person to kind of create a King Arthur. So I would start with Geoffrey. And then we have kind of Was and Layman that kind of come after. So you could delve into them. Chrétien de Troyes is the huge name in the French tradition. So that would be another good place if you want to get introduced to characters such as Lancelot and Percival, and ideas of the Round Table and things like that. I think that comes in the French tradition. I think with Robert de Boron, I think that comes up. So there's a lot of motifs that come through the French, so they would be quite good to look at too. And then Malory is huge. And then my thesis itself kind of ends with Edmund Spenser's The Fairy Queen. So we have a bit of an Arthurian narrative there as well. And he's seen as kind of like a Christ-like figure in that. So that's quite interesting too. So maybe you can delve into those. And then I think a lot later on, kind of outside my field or my period, is Tennyson's, I think, The Idylls of the King. So I think that's quite a popular one. But one text I have read in a module I took called Fantasy and Fandom, which was really great, that had a lot of Arthurian texts in, was Mary Stuart's The Crystal Cave, which is a kind of fantasy version of the Arthurian narrative, but it's Merlin's story. So that was a really good story too. That's I think a series, I believe, so that's a good one to get into.
Okay, nice. I've never heard of that.
Tennyson's The Lady of Shalott is also Arthurian inspired, isn't it? So.
Yeah, and there's really cool art to kind of go with that too.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's quite a few, and then I have to recommend BBC One Merlin because it's just super cute, super fun, and if you want a teenage young adult kind of Merlin as opposed to an old bearded one, though he does transform into an old bearded one for a little while in there as well, and you want a young plucky Arthur, then go for that as well.
Nice.
I think that's a good recommendation.
I've seen, I mean, it's quite a long running series, right? I think it's a couple of
5 years, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. So I've seen the first couple of them, but then I never really got back into it. I should definitely.
Yeah, it's quite good. One thing that's really interesting about it is it's taken bits from a lot of narratives, which is really interesting, and it has a lot of fantasy creatures in there as well. So if that's your kind of thing, then that would be a good one. And I like kind of the representation in there as well. So they have a Black Guinevere, they have Angel Colby playing Guinevere, and it's a little diverse in terms of the cast as well. So that's quite interesting to see. We don't see that a lot in the Arthurian legend, and I think we should. I mean, the Middle Ages weren't white, so it would be really interesting to see more of that as well. I think.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
That'll be a good recommendation. BBC One Merlin, check that out.
BBC One Merlin, check it out. Yes, absolutely. So I remember when I was young, my mother was really into The Mists of Avalon. That's also an Arthurian inspired, right? It has if I recall correctly, because I've never read it, I just looked at it with wonder back when I was, I think, 10, 12 maybe. It has a feminist streak, right? Or at least it's very much focused on the female perspective, or sort of gives. That's what I understood anyway. From
Yeah, I haven't read them myself either, but yeah, that's what I've heard, and I think it kind of relates to, I think, the end of the Arthurian narrative. I think as we have it in the Vita Merlini and kind of Geoffrey, I think at the end as well, where when Arthur is eventually taken to Avalon, it's to kind of, I think Morgan Le Fay is first mentioned there, actually. I think to a woman called Morgan, and I think there's either 7 other women or 9 other women, I think. So yeah, I could understand why that would be a kind of female kind of orientated narrative, because I think Avalon is associated with that. So yeah, that's one of my reading lists, actually. I do need to dig into that and buy those.
Nice. I mean, there's so much, right, to be explored.
There's loads.
What made you to decide to sort of for your thesis research stop where you did? Is it simply because that's your field and you're sort of after early modern? That's not where you're going to go to, or was there some? Was it simply practical, or?
Yeah, a bit of both, actually. I would have liked to take it to Tennyson, but I think in terms of feasibility of the thesis, it didn't quite work. Originally, I was just going to stick to the medieval side of things, but I had studied a lot of early modern text throughout my undergrad and the first year of my MA as well. So I kind of agreed with my supervisor that it would draw on that kind of expertise as well to kind of branch it into early modern too. And I'm glad I did. I'm kind of excited to start on the Fairy Queen.
Nice.
Yeah, next year, hopefully. So that should be really fun, and it's going to bring in a whole different side of things, different context, different characters, different understanding of the narrative as we move kind of away from the medieval under the reign of Elizabeth. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Good. I mean, such a rich field, right? To especially if then if you branch out from the focus on Anglo-Saxons and sort of the British towards basically widen your scope and perspective, and you, with that wealth of stories that you already have at your disposal, you get to move to a lot of different places as well. So that must be.
I hope so. I think that's one of the reasons why I kind of am enjoying the thesis as well at the moment. I think a lot of the scholarship and a lot of the kind of people who are interested in the Arthurian narratives and are part of the kind of field of Arthurian literature. It has been centered on kind of Welsh and English and French and German traditions, and I think especially where kind of my starting point is with Geoffrey, there's so much other things happening during that time when he's writing. For example, with me, with the Arabic and the astronomical materials coming in from Muslim Spain. So it's interesting to kind of look beyond what everyone else has only seen so far, and only really focused on so far, and kind of acknowledging that wider cultural context around the beginnings of the narrative. I think it's been really fun to dive into that as well. So I'm excited and eager to see where kind of that goes as we move away from the medieval period to the early modern.
Nice. I'm also excited to see where we'll go in this game, especially if I do a couple more playthroughs and see what other characters I end up encountering, right? Because that's sort of the point is I will be encountering new canonical characters that I then get to play with as well. So I already said I unlocked Gawain and then also Lady Branwen or Branwen of the Woods. So I'm very curious to see what else will be there in terms of main characters. And also, right now, I'm curious to where shall we go? Shall we've got a lot of different. Not a lot of different. I guess we can either go to Pont Lewin. I mean, the bridge of Lewin therewith. I'm not equipped to deal with this with my Dutch pronunciation, but this place or to the Keep of So. So where shall we go? I guess we have to move north towards Camelon at some point, but we could still, I mean, this doesn't look like a super cheery place, but it's up to you. You get to choose.
What do you think, Liam?
I'm kind of eager to move north.
All right.
Me too.
I want to see what else is hiding.
Yeah,
All right.
let's go north.
Let's go. And Camelon is in the north as well. So there we go. A fearsome castle said to be held by a quiet lady. Well, okay. Well, let's see. These are nice quiet moments in the game as well, where they're sort of just moving through the landscape.
Especially because some of the kind of tactical element can be quite intense when you're on a countdown timer.
Yeah, exactly. It's something that I have absolutely not mastered just yet. But that's also why the easy difficulty for me is quite all right. I'm not much of a chess player myself, so I need a bit of practice. At the Keep of So, the pair follow the winding road through the low scrub until they reach the walls of the Keep of So. Inside the castle is a place of coiled ivy and broken stones. Wow, there doesn't seem to be much left of the once glorious castles of Arthur's kingdom. So another,
Another derelict place.
derelict
It's going
place.
to be creeping with creepy crawlies again.
Or maybe not. Maybe there's just a nice castle warden that is this place a ruin? Did Mordred burn it down? Could be, or not.
Oh.
My dear pretty Queen Jenny. Oh, thank you.
That's quite funny.
All right. So, okay. Oh, that's Morgana.
Oh, here we go.
That's nice. Won't attack me. So hopefully we'll get the recruiter to our little band. I think we'll probably have to give some of the right answers there. So, okay, Morgana is. So who is Morgana? I sort of have some bells ringing here, but who is Morgana?
Yeah, so Morgana is Arthur's. Well, in all the narratives it kind of changes, but in most of the narratives she's his sister, and she is quite ambiguous because sometimes she's evil and sometimes she's okay. So now I'm a bit worried for Gwen here.
Yes. I mean, so far she's supposedly peaceful. And,
yeah, she's a sorceress, so we know she has great power, so that's going to be interesting.
Yes, absolutely. By the way, there's a question from the chat. So J.A. Pasco would like to know, how did the Arthur legends manage to become so popular outside of England, despite focusing on an English king? That's a good question, right? Isn't it?
Good question. That's a really good question. I wish I could answer that really well, but I don't think I'll be able to. Well, we start with Geoffrey, and Geoffrey was quite popular. And then there is a lot of cultural transmission occurring during this time anyway. So I'm guessing legends will be passed across borders. France isn't too far away at this point. And there is a lot of cultural transmission happening between those two places. So the legend does move on to France within the next century after Geoffrey writes it. So I think we go from Geoffrey to Was with his Roman de Brute, which I think is an Anglo-Norman narrative of the Arthurian legend. And then we have a guy called Robert de Baron, who kind of is inspired by Was's narrative. And he's French. And he writes a version of the story that's kind of focused on Merlin. And then we have Chrétien de Troyes, who is the big French source. And we have a lot of Arthurian narratives there. But that's really interesting. I think it would be a really cool thing to trace how that exactly happened and why that happened and what those channels were. I think that would be really interesting. I'm really glad that question was raised because that's something I can go away and dig more into. But there we have a German tradition as well. And the Welsh tradition is aligned to the English one because Geoffrey was Welsh. But yeah, I think that's a really good question. I need to dig into that more. But the tradition is big, and I think part of it lends itself to the flexibility of the narrative again. It's so unique in the sense that it does lie between history and myth, and I think that would have appealed to a lot of the writers at the time. But also, it's a narrative very, very invested in politics and martial imagery, and that would have been very important to writers at the time as well. So I think, yeah, it's a combination of those things. But thank you for the question. That was a really good one. I wish I could have answered that better.
And you've, you kind of keyed into that idea of cultural transmission there as well, Humma. I mean, in Geoffrey's time, like really from the end of the 11th century, well up until into the 13th century, we're dealing with a dynasty of English kings who own territory or whose family own territory in France as well. So that idea of transmission of the importance of dynasty and royalty.
Definitely. And yeah, that idea, you picked up on that nicely, the dynasty stuff, and then the idea of empire. Empire was really big in that time as well, considering we had the Crusades running through the Arthurian tradition in the background too. And within the narrative, Arthur is portrayed as a king with an empire who is trying to broaden that empire itself. So I think a lot of kings during that period as well would have been highly invested in the narrative because it's something that they would have hoped to achieve. Maybe not the fall of the kingdom itself, but definitely everything leading up to it. The idea of a hero and a great ruler and a society made on the bonds of brotherhood. I think that's something that would have appealed to a lot of people.
It makes me kind of... Sorry, Angus, carry on.
No, go ahead, Liam, go ahead.
It makes me think of how it would have kind of applied to particular kings as well. Like, so French kings, I think of like Philip II, who would have been invested in this idea of kind of expanding one's domain. I mean, the Capetian kings for the longest time didn't have power. So when Philip started to regain France from English dominion, there's a kind of narrative that you can key into there. And this notion of, as Humma says, a martial aspect to a given character, that's a very popular idea even in non-martial sectors of medieval society. I mean, you have monks who readily identify themselves as bearing the sword of God, bearing the shield of God. Those ideas of martial aspect being so heavily interwoven with Christianity as well. It's those conversations are kind of constantly being spoken about, and they're keying into ideas that are so readily available in the Arthurian legends.
Yeah, because Arthur is a proto-crusader in the narrative, and in many of the Arthurian narratives, beginning with Geoffrey. So with this backdrop going on behind the tradition, it would make sense for people to be interested in a proto-crusading king whilst this is happening, someone who kind of fights the Saracens in this narrative and wins. So I think it would provide very good heroic morale at the time as well, I think, and inspiration.
I have one of the things that struck me where you were saying everything leading up to the end, right? Because that to me always has struck, and maybe we also tried to get to the end right here in this game, but that always struck me as, in the end, it's such a very sad tale of ambition that just, ends up ultimately to be not necessarily vain, but, simply incomplete. A vision that is simply incomplete in some way, or fatally flawed in some way, right? Is that also something that would appeal to a medieval aesthetic, or is that just something that is one of those more universalist, sort of the tragedy kind of, almost the Greek tragedy kind of thing that is moving there?
I think it is pretty universal. I mean, that is one of Arthur's flaws. It is to do with the idea of empire, and he is looking away from his own kingdom. He's lost sight of what he has and is eager to gain more. and by going on that imperial journey towards Rome, with the idea of conquering it, he has kind of neglected his own kingdom and left it in the hands of Mordred, who then takes over and usurps in a sense. So yeah, I think it's definitely warning about having a careful balance between when you rule, essentially. So yeah, I think it's definitely a universal idea. It's something that we can still relate to today. It's definitely a very common theme.
And I think
The
the
rise and
idea
fall.
is, as well, of that ending, the idea of the kind of things eventually falling to ruin is, from a medieval perspective, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Because we of course have this idea of as we have Arthur fulfilling a similar role to how Charlemagne fulfills his role, the kind of idea of a final Christian empire, which of course has basis in Revelations. So the idea of Arthur being that final Christian king and his empire essentially being destroyed, as much as that ostensibly can be a terrible thing, it's a warning as much as anything, but it's also the point at which the apocalypse comes, which is exactly what the medieval Christian world is looking for. They are obsessed with that idea of the end of days, when eventually the Christian community can rise up into heaven. So it has dual aspect. It is, in one hand, as Humma says rightly, a teaching opportunity about the perils of rule, but it's also a tale which speaks to a kind of ending of suffering and the oncoming of God's kingdom.
Yes.
Interesting. I like that perspective.
Very nice. That said, we're now right here in the game with Morgana, who has just identified herself as being the aunt of Mordred. So let's just investigate this a little bit further. Well, there you go. He's my sister's Morgana's curse upon this world. So there's definitely family blood running here, and every errand boy deserves a vicious aunt. There you go. That's probably true. So clearly this is one of these characters that is you can watch me or not watch. But if I mean you harm, you will not see me coming. Okay, not entirely at ease now, but sure. And it's not between us. Won that fight years ago. Okay, there's a lot of things are left unsaid here. At the same time, there's a lot of direct confrontation between these two characters. Will you follow? I'll never see my... okay, interesting, very interesting. I walk the weird ways. So now we have a new character to play with. So a core story. This character has this ability called Pacify. Turn a nearby creature friendly. Oh, that is nice, isn't it? That would have been very useful. Yes. All right, let's go. So they leave. They keep us so wonderful. Guinevere is constantly looking over her shoulder. Mm-hmm. So is he so not to be trusted? Is that really it?
Yeah, we have that fraught kind of relationship there. Yeah. So I'm guessing, I mean, especially if she's just claimed that Mordred's her nephew. We know Arthur's going to fight Mordred at Camlann. So
there
Gwen
you go.
Is wary.
Arthur's half sister, a cruel witch, she's called here. Okay. Mm-hmm. At the same time, she's not that cruel because at least she can turn nearby creatures friendly. Okay, but cruel to men. All right, let's try and a gentle song echoes down the valley. That sounds nice. The gentle song. I think we could do with a bit of a gentle song. So let's go there in our quest north. I think we should be getting somewhat close to Camden, I feel.
There's something disconcerting about the way that Morgana is following with a knife in hand.
A knife drawn. Yeah, exactly.
I was going to say, it feels very realistic. I feel like, this is how long it would take to get to Camlann. We're on day 3.
Yes, yeah. Especially, I mean, we're supposedly on horseback. We don't really see that in our. So yeah, I could see that, depending, of course, where you would start in Britain. But yeah. All right, that's. Oh wait a minute. This
Oh.
can strike it.
Ooh.
Okay, that's another type of creature. You know what? I guess that Guinevere is just our leader anyway, or not. Morgana's holding back. Okay, they're holding back. But I'm gonna get Morgana in here. I'm gonna see if I can pacify her. So that's said. The rough woman. Oh, another core character maybe. Let's try and not get bitten by a snake. But let's try and see if what that. Whoa! Oh dear. Oh, that sounds ominous. Alright, let's. Oh, Morgana is still holding back. Okay, I can't call them in just yet. So let's see. They ask things of us. They're asking me to. Oh dear. It's almost like a what do you call that in English again with Harry Potter? This
Oh,
when they can
Parseltongue.
Parseltongue, yes. It's my problem is I've read all those.
Yes, that's what it goes.
Yes. So So can they attack diagonally? Can strike linearly without moving. I don't think they can. All right, let's see. I think we should still be safe here. So ride with us. Yeah, exactly. Come home. Come home with us. Wait. Okay. We'll wait a little bit as long as you don't make sure that your snakes don't bite us. It seems to crumple to the water with a splash. Okay. Wait. What?
And her body is gone.
Where?
Whoa.
Oh my.
Oh, Return of the Rats.
Return of the rats. Rats indeed. Oh dear.
3 rats and 2 snakes. You're in a bit of bother now.
Yes, I
aren't
am
you,
definitely.
Angus?
Yeah, this doesn't. So definitely, this rat is going for it. I think I can. Oh dear, this is. I can move there. That's gonna help me for now. Because I definitely want to get away from here. Or I could probably move there. Oh no, I can't because of course the snake's gonna get me. I guess moving back is the thing to do then. For now, at least. And then maybe I get one of my friends in the next round. That's a lot of rats, yes, for sure. A whole lot. I'm in a spot of bother here, I think. So it could. Okay, so it definitely can. It can probably get me next turn. So can I? Should I do that, or I probably should. Probably should. Can I? Oh no, I have to move diagonally first. Maybe go. Let's see. There are creatures to be dealt with. Yes, yes, indeed, there are.
And in comes Morgana.
Could be dangerous in the sense that maybe that snake's gonna get me. I'm not entirely sure what's gonna happen if I stay here. Could vault, but it. No, I think I'm gonna be good actually. Let's see. Famous last words. Chitter. Yes, chitter, a scratch indeed. So, Guinevere's in danger. Rat. Yes, I know. So let's see if Morgana can she already work her magic. Only nearby creatures. Okay. All right. That means I have to move here. So far, so good. But okay, that's good. I guess I get to do that, and the snake can get me. Bye, Mr. Rat. No turning you friendly. Oh dear. All right. So let's let's get Morgana into here. And so as you can see, she can move a bit further now because the red squares are owned by me. So let's see. Can she already? There we go. She can pacify that creature right up there, I think. Right? Cast a spell. Yes. Friedar Vinur. I'm not entirely sure if that's any form of... That's probably something Norse or whatever. It seems magical enough. The rat is tracing the scent of Guinevere. She makes ready to strike. Ish, are you then? So I guess I get to control you now as well, or you're just pacified now. I guess you're just pacified. That's nice. We don't have to worry about them.
One down.
Yeah, exactly. I think maybe this will work. This seems workable. Yeah, this seems like good. There we go. Wait, you're not. Why are you not peaceful anymore? I guess it only lasts one turn.
They're still glowing green though, so perhaps they
Yeah,
were just
perhaps. Oh, maybe it's just sort of
the
wary.
rat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe, or maybe it's just wary that I'm gonna attack it. Could be. That's just this. Anyway, this seems to be the move
You
now.
seem
Anyway,
safe.
that seems safe. She's a rat killer for sure. Oh well. As though freed. Oh, that is clearly that snake is now. Yeah, that's not green anymore. That's not peaceful
Yep,
anymore.
that's not.
All right, let's see. Can I do this? Yeah, okay. Sorry, snake. The whole making creatures peaceful thing didn't really work out so
Sorry.
far. Wow, the head from a snake with a massive stroke. That's
Nice.
That's not so much. You haven't really encountered any knights yet that are dangerous to us. But you know, maybe after we slaughtered the whole fauna of Britain, then we get
They've all been killed by the boars.
Yes, exactly. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, this is definitely dangerous because the snake is now able to attack this square, and that means that literally he would just move in there and just kill Sir Avon. No hearts, no nothing. So I don't want that to happen. So can we? Oh, I think it's worth it to save Sir Avon, right?
Absolutely.
Three
Yes.
resolve. Absolutely. There we go. Okay. Starry-eyed creature. Yeah, now it is, but
Lovely.
all right. Let's see. I think I have to kill you as well, unfortunately for you, because if I walk down, you're gonna get me. All right. I don't like this place. No, absolutely. There we go. The snake is out and about. And I can move.
This isn't the time to be asking about Lancelot.
No, I mean, I understand that she has Lancelot on the mind, because, you know. But, exactly, poor little Queen Jenny is what I think Morgana would say right now. Still hopeless and helpless. Well, not that helpless, but sure.
I mean, she's just murdered, what, 2-3 rats and a snake? I feel like she's not helpless at this stage.
Yeah, exactly. And since she's near to the home square, she's also not necessarily hopeless. So let's get there and let's see how if we can get away out of this. Exactly. The sooner out of this mud, the better. There we go. Bye, snake. So that said, that lady that just disappeared into the water. What was she about? Who was she? What was that? Do we have any clue?
I don't know. I mean, the only lady that disappears in water is the Lady of the Lake, but that's a bit of a puddle, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't feel like a lake, really, does it?
No.
All right. Anyway, let's get out of here. Oh, we must be nearing Camden. Guinevere's shoulders her spear. All right, let's go. You're a lion. Oh, thank you. Oh, well.
Finally, a compliment.
But don't get complacent. But you don't have to fight alone. What shall we say here?
I feel like Morgana is just permanently sassy.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So, but don't get complacent. Has to be the answer.
Has to be yeah, exactly. Okay. There'll be more worse to come. Oh, thanks.
Lovely.
How jolly. All right. So, still though, Camlin. I guess we're gonna go to this particular hamlet over there and see what's what. I think we're gonna.
Isolt, is that Tristan and Isolt?
I thought that as well.
Could be, right? Could be, but it's yeah. So
Might be.
but Isolde really didn't live in a hamlet, did she? Or
I don't think so.
No.
the wound from the fight with the wolf is getting worse. Guinevere is growing concerned. Oh, my poor Sir Avon.
He needs a doctor
Yeah.
or a healer.
Oh, I know it hurts.
Preferably not a medieval one, though.
Oh. no, exactly. Oh, you poor Sir Avon. How are we gonna deal with this?
Poor thing.
Yeah. Don't give up. Keep going. Yes, please. I'm just gonna move around with it, like hoover up some result. I don't think. Oh no! How sad.
Losing hope.
Wait.
Oh.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, perfect.
How magical.
You are a witch? No, we're not gonna say that. If somebody's just like saying like, "Help me."
You?
Who are you? Yeah. Who are you even? No one special.
That's not encouraging.
No.
Oh.
I've just cared for a lot of children and a lot of livestock in my time. Well, there you go. That's an end. Now
Sounds
come here.
Kind enough.
Okay. This could be a trap, I feel. But what choice do we have?
Yeah, I don't trust his credentials, but at the same time, we have no option.
Exactly. If you can do anything for him, it would be nice. But please don't. I'm sure I can. This is... Whoa! Poor Sir Avon.
No, has he been poisoned?
Oh, what?
We killed
Monstrous.
him. He was poisoned.
The rude villager. Yeah, you can say that again. The rude villager. The murderer he is. Wow.
Gosh, I'm thrown.
Oh, no. Sir... You bastard.
He's working for Mordred as well.
No way.
You are... I'm gonna get you.
rude.
I'm gonna get you.
Now it's true avenging. Come on, Gwenny.
Yes. I had no choice. Wow, that's a Trumpian saying right there.
I feel skin started crawling when I read
Yes,
that.
exactly. I will fight your madness till my dying breath.
Yes.
This exactly. This is... So be it. And your few, well, I guess... Is that the queen?
Apparently we are indeed many.
Oh, dearie. All right, let's see. I guess would be nice to have another partner in here, even if it's just for animals. But all right, that's good. Oh, look at that! You have no business here, Majesty. Well, I was just passing by.
Ooh, okay.
I was passing by and you murdered a friend.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay. This hasn't been useful just yet. I thought maybe I could sort of vault there and then just boom get her, but apparently not. So I'm gonna try and get the upper ground here. I'll have your allegiance. Yeah, I don't think that's. No, we're not gonna run away. We're gonna get you.
Gonna avenge Sir Avon.
Exactly. I will avenge your Avon.
There we are. We're on the same page.
I'm not an idiot, you know. Well, what are you then? Okay, maybe this is a bit too bold, but this just has to happen.
I'm not an idiot, but I did bring my grandma to this fight.
To this fight. Sleeping too long. Wow, he drank the Kool-Aid for sure.
Oh wow!
All right, I'm gonna bring in my own ally just here. Wow, yeah, there you go.
Yes, that was the response.
She's so on point.
Arthur were Texas. So it was a fine castle with fine high walls. Sir Modred walks among. My God, I feel that there's some current politics being channeled here.
There's a lot of Trumpian undertones in
Yes,
these bad guys.
Absolutely. So, sorry, Mrs. Grandma, but if you're with him, you're against. Wait, before I do that, peaceful won't
The
attack
rough
people.
villager. Oh, okay.
But you won't attack people. But why are you here then? Why?
Peaceful but rough.
Peaceful.
That coexists.
Peaceful but rough. All right, let's. Now, what shall we do? Now I don't
I'm
want to.
half expecting as you murder her for like a GOP Republican card to fall out of like her robes or something.
Yeah, exactly. But why? If you're peaceful, why are you just moving like that? Just don't. I can't really do anything with that right now.
It's also holding a dagger, and I feel like that's just not peaceful.
No, exactly. And I mean, are you peaceful? You're not peaceful.
I mean,
you're
you're
a
not
hunter.
chopping onions with that knife, are you?
No, I'm sorry, but you're just gonna get it. Sorry, Grandma. Oof, indeed. There you go. Rich, poor, old, young. Those in need and those with plenty. Exactly. But never us. Oh, Sir Avon is gone and I killed a grandmother. Now I feel really bad.
These
Okay.
are hard
Regained
times.
ration. Found food.
At least we have some food. There's a little like point of
Silver
light.
lining in his death.
Camlin. Okay, I guess since it's gotten rather late, but it is good. We did in
There it
fact make it all the way to Camlin. So let's go there. Let's go there right now. This is it. Exactly, this is it. Where Arthur and Mordred are to meet. We lost her. Oh, a little eulogy. I don't know, Mom. Wow.
Morgana just doesn't let up, does she?
No.
It's just brutal.
So a little bit more about Camlin. What Camlin is the final battle, right?
Yeah, that's the final battleground. So Mordred and Arthur will meet there for their last battle. With Mordred having usurped the Arthurian kingdom, and Arthur coming back to what he thinks to reclaim what he lost. And then we have that fatal battle. And I wonder if it's going to pan out the way the narrative does. That would be interesting.
So where are you, Mordred? Won't you come out to greet your father? So I guess this is I've come alone. So this, in fact, is Arthur himself.
Hello,
the doomed king himself. Look at him with his sword, and he's clearly not in a.
Pretty dejected.
Exactly. So there are some dead knights over there.
Some Robert Baratheons.
Exactly, some Robert Baratheons.
Littered on the floor.
And a knight of Sir Modred. So we have to.
Okay.
All right, let's see if we can make it all the way there, because that I guess that it should come to this. Okay, how has it come to this? So we can either attack the enemy or ready to fight, and the dinner stands after it. I can move. That is probably good for now. I'm gonna say. Yeah, I could do that, or I could just. Oh, right, I can go like this. Whoops. Right. Oh, wait. Like, boom. Oh, there we go. And it's already here. All that was good. He is clearly dejected. Is maybe too soft a word for it, but your takes on this incarnation of Arthur. He's a sad one, right?
Yeah, it's pretty sad. I'm guessing he would be if his wife ran off with his knight and his kin, his nephew, I think, in this narrative. It might be son, actually. He's ready to kill him. So.
But hey, at least we've come. So
at least we've come. We've come all this way. I hope he knows that.
We're gonna be there for you. We're gonna be there for you, my erstwhile husband.
Even though we said we never loved you in the first place, right at the beginning of the game.
Exactly.
And even though before we walked onto this particular board, he was telling, why could you tell all of your secrets? So, strong marriage.
Yes, exactly. I mean, happens in the best of couples. Okay, so that's ready to fight. That's the one we already have. To me, advance a party member to your defense. I think that will work because we have a couple of we have a Morgana left right there. Right. I think we want to move you up there. All right. I think that's gonna. Sir Miach? Is that a name we should recognize? Sir Miach?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, but probably the name of this Robert Baratheon character over here. Okay, I'm gonna bring in Morgana because she's gonna cost 2 resolve, but I still want to have her be part of this. Oh wow, there's a lot of them are moving onto the field right now.
She should be there. This is a family affair, I think.
This is a family affair, absolutely. Well, let's capture some more resolve. There we go. Oh, this will be. I think I probably want to go this way for the flanking. All right. What are you going to be doing now? You're not really hunting me, are you? You're just standing there. Come on now. Guess changing your stance over there.
Arthur looks very windswept at the moment.
Yes, he does. He does. Ready for it, but also I guess this is not gonna end well. No, exactly. So we don't want to. We've come all this way for him to die right now. It's not gonna be it. All right. Let's see if we move you over there. What's gonna happen? Exactly. Yes, you should change your stance over there. Slowly does it. Okay. Well, you know what? This could work. Because right now you've. I mean, no. Because. It's just...
kind of want him to come to you, really, don't we?
Yes, we do. I don't know if he'll be that. So he won't attack diagonally, so that's good. Attack sideways while on a diagonal stance. That could end up working out for me. Let's see. Not yet, but okay. He blunders forward, so this is good because now I think. You can't really go anywhere, right? You can't really go there because you're not allowed to attack that. But you can now go here without getting too much of a... Or not. Are you going to be... No, you're in diagonal stance. This should work. This should work. I feel okay about this. Oh! Interesting. So this would be quite a gambit, right? We could Arthur sacrifice himself to make way for somebody else to try and reach this end of the board.
Change.
Is that something Arthur would do? Yeah, right. He would. That's an Arthurian move, isn't it? Or would he say
like yourself for the good of the realm?
Would he?
For the good of the realm.
Would he? Would he?
Let's say he does.
All right.
Let's say he's that type of king.
All right, let's just say that. This may kill Arthur. All right, Arthur. Just make it happen. Oh, there's somebody waiting there. but you're not going to get there. And so the old dog falls. What? Don't call me a dog. No, that's horrible. Ooh, that sounded... Oh.
Oh gosh.
Oh gosh. Well, yeah, I won't tell you what I told everybody else. But...
Oh well, time for Guinevere to ascend the throne.
Yes, exactly. So, let's get you over here. I think that's gonna... And I probably will need you at some point as well. You want to sacrifice yourself as well. That's not gonna work. We can't keep on sacrificing everybody for everybody. We're not gonna do that. We're just not gonna do that. So, I could move here. And then... Yeah, let's do that. Wait. Another... Oh dear, that's not gonna work. I have to somehow move through here. There you go. You're not gonna get me at all. I'm gonna get you. I feel... something's gotta give here. Somehow. Oh, wait. Wait. How did that happen? Oh, no!
Oh, he charged.
Oh, I didn't know that he could charge. Oh, dear. I want an undo button now. Okay.
Nice to have a bit of quiet for once.
Wow.
Sassy till the end.
Yes. I wonder if I will make it, but let's see. Let's just try it. This has to be a desperate dash, right? That's not gonna be it.
It took
No.
Gwen so far.
Yes. Wait, that's also
So
not
he
gonna
can
work.
charge, but can you go just one step
I
ahead?
guess that because he could sort of... I can go one step ahead. That will work. I mean, because they control this whole thingy over here. That's the... And he's not a creature as such. Oh, this is not gonna work out. This is not gonna work out either, right? Oh, this could No, this could work. This could work.
Got scared.
Oh yeah. Oh well,
Hurry,
there we go.
hurry!
Intense.
Here we go.
Wow.
Look at that change in the narrative.
Arthur lies half trampled into the mud. Close by. Oh, that's just horrible. Wow.
Oh God.
On the hill above, the bloody field stands a single dark knight. I mean, this is clearly not canonical, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, we've got Batman vibes here. Single Dark Knight.
Yes, that's
Meanwhile, Morgana walks out as everyone else is dead and just cackles on her way out.
What a don.
Alright, I wonder, Mordred,
Okay.
you foul little toad. Greetings, Auntie. To the death. This will be a fight to the death. Every move is made without Oh wait, it's...
Oh no.
Oh, I better... Ooh, I don't know.
We've
So,
got to pay attention now.
we've got to pay a lot of attention if we want to make it out of here. So, powerful. Okay, I don't know what that means. Can anticipate enemy moves. Okay. Okay, so we just have to make sure that we don't get... You know... I think this is still safe to go. I'm here because you failed. Okay. Clearly. Oh, he's getting a new stuff. I want new stuff. Because technically Mordred is hiking at the moment, right? he is
Now that the other one is trampled in the dirt.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So I guess he doesn't count as a creature. So we have to try and somehow outwit him. That will be, I think, very, very, very difficult. But we'll see. How long he holds this gun. Wow, she's foul-mouthed, this Morgana. I like the fact that he looks a little bit like Arthur, though. So that's. I mean,
Resemblance is there.
yeah.
Windswept hair.
Windswept hair. So I mean, if I move here, end the story. That's not gonna work. So I don't think this is a place that I could move to even. So I'm gonna move back. I'm gonna say. Let's see. Where are you going? I know. I know. No.
You can tell they're related.
Yeah, exactly. You were sorely mistaken. I couldn't kneel low. Oh, this is good. This is good. She's quite something. I feel that I have to make sure that I keep enough territory. I better just move around like this. Ah, okay. I tire of pitiful wretches. The pacify is not going to help me anymore. So spin
You
attack.
might as well have spin.
Spin into linear stance to attack an adjacent enemy. Okay, good. So I need to be in my Jupiter. Okay. Oh, he also has a spin attack now. Oh, you copycat. I am Mordred Pendragon. That's not gonna.
Assume the name, is he?
Okay, spin into linear stance to attack an adjacent enemy. So let's move here and let's see. I am the country now. Wow, this is quite a power statement. All right, let's see. Can I even? This move requires moving diagonally. And I can't move diagonally from anywhere here in this corner. So I better get up there. Maybe that's going to help me. Drop your sword. I don't think that's going to happen, Morgana. I don't think that's... You look like a cheese.
Delightful.
Delightful. So, come on, let's wrap this up, Mordred. I think I could, yeah. Oh, wow. So, what shall we go for here? Low's the low? Child could best you, Mordred. There we go. Let's go for that.
Yeah, I think that's the next one.
Nothing but a child. Okay. This is not good, I think. I have to change my stance because he's completely blocked me off. This is not what I was trying to go for. I think this is gonna... Oof. Gonna be very dangerous. Oh. I think this is it. I think this is it because I mean, I could hold. I hope that he moves away.
But he's changed his stance now, hasn't he? So if you move...
Oh, wait. Oh, but... Wait, but he has a spin attack. So he moves to attack an adjacent enemy. So I think that he could get me. Because he also has the spin attack, right? I think he could get me. It's going to be very dangerous.
There's Angus.
Alright, let's just try it. Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay. Oh, that's the late Sir Miach. Poor Sir Miach. So, doesn't apply right now. Why not? It would have been so lovely if it did apply. Let's try and move here. That won't help us. Here then.
Umza
come
says,
on.
This is tense.
This is tense. This is absolutely tense. It is a little dance of
Dance of the Dragon.
Oh no! Oh no! One.
That was so quick.
I forgot the charge. Oh, horrible.
There we are.
I have to get better at this game before I'm able to best Mordred. That's clear. That is very clear. Oh well.
England has been left with a low-key Trump figure.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Sir Mordred.
Wow.
Crump finally at peace. Well, okay,
Finally.
I guess that's true. The hope of a just kingdom has died. Oh. Rub it in. Oh. Well.
Oh, that's sad.
That is sad.
Well, that's where we are today. So come full circle.
Oh, there you go. There's all sorts of other empires working out, but the dream of Britain is forgotten. Oh, wow. On the nose. Well, I guess that's that. So, this is our story. This is what happened. Many friends made along the way, many reds killed along the way as well. It's been an interesting journey for sure. Any thoughts on this game?
A lot of fun.
Before we wrap up? Yeah, it's a lot of fun for sure. I would agree so.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
I really like how the narrative changed all the way throughout, and each character had a kind of distinct voice and distinct personality. That was really cool.
Yeah. So does it from what you've seen just now, does it sort of stack up with the greats, or
it lives up to the legend? Let's say
it lives up to the legend. Well, that's a real seal of approval, I would say, coming from you especially. So thanks. It's been a lot of fun playing this together with you. Are you gonna try and play a bit more of this, Humma?
I might give it a shot now.
Yeah,
I think it looks really good.
To sweeten the deal, the game is not even that expensive. It's about 13 euros on our side of it. So I don't know how much it will be. It's not bad at all. And you know what? I could also see this game being featured in teaching about, right?
Definitely.
So, absolutely.
It would be too bad a better thing. So, all right. Nice to have explored this thing together.
Thank you for inviting us. Thank you so much.
Thank
Absolutely.
you for having us, Angus.
Absolutely my pleasure. Also, thanks everybody that was with us to the very, very last tense moments today.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question, JA, and just generally thanks for hanging out with us. Next Tuesday, it's going to be Corina again. She's going to be playing Civ City Rome. Very different than this, but I'm sure also very lots and lots and lots of fun. So that's it for me, and on behalf of my two guests, I bid you good night, and of course also stay happy and stay healthy. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.